Just a normal day on YouTube. Let's see what's up in my feed. What the? Riley Dennis? I haven't seen anything from her since I went after her on video games. Wonder what's new. My god. Trans lesbian unboxes sex toys? 8,000 views? What the fuck? The problem with anti-trans bathroom laws? I might make a video about that one later, but that's not what this was about. But, we moved in together. Who the fuck is we? Is it yourself? Are you kissing yourself? Actually, that's exactly what that looks like. That looks like she's kissing herself. But he or she is kissing his or herself. That's exactly what it looks like. I don't know what's going on. Oh. Dennis really does have a girlfriend. Oh. And the one we're gonna get to today. How YouTube could prevent harassment. This should be fun. Stop using that voice. You only use that when you narrate the words. Shut the fuck up. I might start doing opening skits for every video I do. I should have just did an entire discussion over the Women's March when I did my other one. But yeah. Anyway, so as you guessed it, we're gonna take on Riley Dennis again for the first time in half a year, more than half a year maybe. But yeah, we're basically just gonna go over this since I saw one of Rax's response videos over Riley Dennis's, because I really like those of his. I like Rags as a YouTuber anyway, but his Riley response videos are very well done. But anyway, we're gonna go after Riley's YouTube with harassment stuff, because I mean, if you didn't think she was an authoritative dick before, this really shows you. I should also start saying he, because he is a he. Dennis is a he, and an asshole. He's an asshole.
Hey everybody, so if you don't know, I've gotten a lot of harassment and abuse because of my youth.
Harassment and abuse, are you actually taking, I mean, we already know this, but she's taking basically legitimate concerns people have with the shit that she says, conflates that with harassment. I mean, yeah, of course, there's a lot of things that are uncalled for, but I don't think that's half of what Riley gets. I think she just gets a lot of people just calling her a dumb son of a bitch. But there's a lot of people disagree with Riley, and for good reason. She advocates basically for internet censorship. Just because she happens to disagree with people. She advocates not only for shadow banning, but also chain blocking, where that thing Twitter does, where if you block someone, that automatically blocks everyone that follows them. Like, that's pretty fucked up. Like, I mean, I'm being serious. Riley is just, I think she's a wee bit Karl Marxy, and I think people should really know that. And also, how many likes and dislikes? This video has 960 likes and 5,000 dislikes. So that shows you just how bad people just dislike Riley.
YouTube channel. And YouTube itself has done nothing to try and prevent that. This is still where my main audience...
YouTube is incompetent. We all know this. You, of all people, should know this anyway, but, I mean, we all know how they handled their stuff, right? And they were doing a lot of stuff that is catering to your base, Riley. They are already censoring conservatives all around the base. Alright? Even if they're people who are just, you know, like Dave Rubin, who is probably the most non-extreme guy in the political sphere right now. But I mean, they're censoring conservatives, alright? And they've admitted to censoring conservatives. If you want to know more about this, I suggest you go check out Project Veritas. They have a lot of in-depth stuff about it. But yeah, I mean, Riley, they've been censoring conservatives already, alright? What she's going to do is basically just, you know, advocate for more of the same thing. Just basically be a huge dick to people she disagrees with. Say that they're harassing her, and is going to advocate for a whole bunch of things that other social media platforms do about their censoring stuff, and it's not great. I'm not going to go on this video long.
and it's where I've made a lot of friends, but it's also been the source of a lot of bad stuff for me. So
It's
obviously,
YouTube.
I want YouTube to be better. I don't think they can completely eliminate harassment and abuse, but
No.
I think they can greatly reduce it without affecting anyone's freedom of speech. Because
Right.
right now, YouTube has a problem. It's become a breeding ground for far-right response channels that literally just make videos in response to other people's content. It's a really good way to get views by leeching off of other people's work.
It's just response videos. That's something people actually take their time on. You do understand this, right? Like, I take time out of my day to respond to other people. I take time out of my day to, you know, I have work, I have responsibilities, I have school, I have a whole lot of things to do. But I'm also doing this stuff because, I mean, I like doing YouTube. I mean, I know a lot of people don't watch my shit, and if you're watching it, thank you, but this is my hobby, basically. Playing video games, making YouTube videos, alright? And honestly, I don't like how she's conflating all the people who make response videos about her, okay? So I think some people who do make response videos about other people they disagree with are being absolute dicks about it. But that's not a majority of it, alright? Like, Andy Worski, Rags, a whole lot of people, they have legitimate reasons to dislike Riley Dennis, and she's conflating the internet trolls with the people who are actually making legitimate responses to her videos. His or her videos. Whatever the fuck she is. Whatever the fuck Riley Dennis is. And she's just and she's using that as an excuse to basically just say, hey, I'm advocating for internet censorship. I may say I stand with the First Amendment, even if having the First Amendment is actually gonna end up in harassment happening, because it's gonna happen. Alright? Riley even says that not all of this is gonna stop, but what she's advocating for here is not moral in the slightest when you're talking about free speech, because, I mean, you cannot just take people down for disagreeing with you. And that's basically what Riley advocates for.
And getting your audience super mad about it. YouTube, whether intentionally or not, has allowed this community to flourish for a long time. Their algorithms and ways of promoting videos have bolstered these channels without providing any protections for the
What about all the ISIS videos? You know, where they behead people? I mean, that's how this whole controversy got started anyways, because there was a bunch of extremist videos that are being put up, like the ISIS videos. They haven't fixed that yet. And if anything, they gave them an excuse to go after legitimate conservative content, like, you know, Prager University, Daily Wire, anybody who remotely leans to the right ends up getting demonetized. Like Andy Worski, they're not completely right-wing, right? But they got screwed. Like, they got completely demonetized a few months ago. Alright, and Andy Worski's... Andy's already got a good fan base anyway. I mean, I'm one of them. I haven't watched a lot of his videos lately, but I mean, he's a good guy. He's got a good fan base. My whole thing is that this dude is already cussing out people and stuff like that, but yet you kept some of his videos monetized anyway. It was just when it came to certain topics they didn't like it. Then when they demonetized them wholesale, he kind of got unhinged. And that's the faults of YouTube. Because when you fuck with people's livelihoods, I mean, that's what YouTube is for some people, alright? Mundane Matt, he got himself a house because of what he was able to do on YouTube. Alright, and then YouTube unjustly started demonetizing a whole bunch of people who didn't even have extremist views in order to pamper to the left agenda when it comes to speech they disagree with. And it's really disgusting that people were actually supportive of that, and I don't know if Riley is oblivious to the fact that Google and a whole bunch of social media sites have actually been trying to do that, and they have been doing that for a while. But I mean, hey, maybe some people are just that oblivious.
They're attacking. And I think that needs to change. Otherwise, YouTube is going to be overrun by hateful response channels, and they'll scare away all the marginalized people who used to find solace in this platform. So, to help YouTube...
Marginalized? I hate how Riley also calls a whole bunch of people marginalized, and for almost absolutely no reason. Alright? Black people are not marginalized. Women are not marginalized, at least in the West. These people are not marginalized. Black people aren't marginalized, women aren't marginalized, Muslims aren't marginalized. If any, like, seriously, no one in the country is being marginalized at this point. No one has. Alright, we've progressed way too far for people to just, for some reason, people just to think that America has been at its worst point on, you know, like race relations or gender relations and stuff like that, just because we, A, have a different guy in office, and B, my abuse, basically. And it's really, really annoying that this is what she thinks, alright? And I really, really wish I could find some way to convince Riley, hey, you're a dumbass. Alright, if anything, I'd love for, like, Blair White to talk to Riley about some of this stuff, because, I mean, I think Blair White did a good job in trying to convince Lacey Green. Oh, shit. I think Lacey Green and that whole debate with Lacey Green and, oh, shit. And, what's her name, Blair White. Yeah, I think the Blair White and Lacey Green debate can get people to change their minds on half the things that they say. Right? But I don't think Riley wants that. Riley doesn't want the free and open exchange of ideas. Riley wants full-on censorship of people she disagrees with, and it's really troubling that a lot of people aren't catching on to this unless you really know who Riley Dennis is, which is, you know, I know who Riley is. Riley's a dick.
To figure this out, I thought I would outline some actionable steps that they can take to protect creators and give them more control over their experience on YouTube. To be completely honest, I would be happy to see all of these harassment-based hate-mongering channels get banned completely. But unfortunately...
What, like Andy Worski, Mundane Matt, me... Well, I'm not even monetized anyway. I'm nowhere close to that, but still. Andy Worski, Ben Shapiro, Dave Rubin, people you would claim to be responsive channels against you or other people, blah, 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 blah. Even the Act Man, man. He's not even a response channel. He's mainly gaming. Though he does take some pretty good jabs at SJWs when he gets the opportunity to. So, but yeah, so like, hate-mongering. There's a difference between stating facts and being a hate-monger. Like, if you're David Duke and you're being a dick on the internet, then that's hate-mongering, but if you're just Andy Worski being a dick, but for good reason, you got nothing here.
I think that's unrealistic. So these steps are things that don't silence them or prevent them from making their videos. All it does is try to protect the creators that they're targeting. I don't think that's too much to ask for. Most of these are going to revolve around the block function on YouTube. Currently, YouTuber A can block YouTuber B, but all that does is prevent B from commenting on A's videos. It doesn't do anything else, and I think it can do a lot more. On other social media sites, blocking has a ton more functionality, so I'm not asking for anything that's really out there. I'm just asking for YouTube to be a little bit more like other social media networks. And at its base, YouTube basically is a video-based social network. You follow people, you have your own profile, you comment on people's stuff, etc., etc. YouTube has even recently made the community tab open for everyone, which is supposed to be a place for people to share photos and status updates. And that's because they want people to use YouTube like a social network. They want to keep you on the site instead of you leaving to share stuff on Twitter or Facebook or whatever. They want to be the place where you're sharing content and engaging with it, instead of some other social network. Even if it sometimes acts like it wants to be a Netflix or a Hulu competitor, it's much more like a social network. And because of that, its blocking function should behave more like that of any other social network. Which leads me to my first point. If YouTuber A blocks YouTuber B, B's videos should not appear in the suggested videos section next to YouTuber A's videos. The suggested videos section is...
Okay. Yeah, honestly, it just seems like a whole bunch of hoopla to me. It's basically just saying, just block all the people. Block all the people from seeing your stuff. Okay? It's not very... Alright, blocking is not kind of effective. Like, unless they're being absolute dicks and they won't stop trolling you, maybe. But when they're just making, you know, casual, actual political responses to what you're saying, That's the problem when you start blocking them, alright? And a lot of people see that as pretty childish. See that as not only childish, they see that as cowardice. Because, I mean, I have political discussions with people all the time. All the time I have political discussions with people. On Instagram. And I don't block anybody. And this is also something I meant to intro with as well. Lately, on Instagram, I have been finding a whole bunch of like third wave feminist pieces of crap pages who don't know the slightest bit what the hell they're talking about. Half of them that I used to be able to view and actually post shit on, not post shit on, but like actually respond to, I will be able to look at what they say, but I will not be able to comment because I can't, it just won't let me comment on anything. I don't know why or how they're able to do this, but all of a sudden, all these pages that I will respond to on not a daily basis, but every time I would see them, every time they would show up in my Explore feed, like it does, because that's how the Explore feed works. But I would used to just be able to comment, you know, call some people dickheads if I wanted to, but because I mean that's what a bunch of these third wave feminist pages are, is just a bunch of dickheads. But I mean, now it's just I can't get to the point where I can actually have at least a conversation with some of these people, because there's some of them who I think are kind of misguided and I actually try to take easy on, unless they're intentionally being, you know, a retard when it comes to politics. But I mean, I legitimately try to be respectful unless they are being disrespectful first. Alright? Now, when they're being disrespectful to other people, and I come to defend the person that was being disrespected in the first place, then I will jump out first being the dick. Alright? And that's just my whole thing. But now I can't even do any of that because for some goddamn reason, I can't comment on these people's pages. Alright? I used to comment on them all the time. Alright? And they didn't block me, because I'm still able to see their stuff. Like, I'm like on my regular channel, like on my regular Instagram account. I can't, like, and they show up in my Explore feed too. I don't do these fancy things like that. Like, I don't go to another, what's it called? I don't go on another account to look at their stuff to see what they're posting, because I mean, I don't look for them. It basically just shows up in my feed. I don't want to see it show up in my feed, but when I see it, then I go face in. But now I can't even go face in and have at least provide a rebuttal to whatever third wave feminist A is saying, or SJW A is saying, and it's pretty disgusting to me that some people are actually willing to have this stuff happen. Like, they don't even want a discussion. Like, when you post political stuff, someone's going to comment on it. Alright? Someone's going to comment on it. Somebody's going to be very, they might not be upset with what you're saying, but they may disagree with it. They may be trying to get some insight into something. But sometimes, when you try to get insight, they'll accuse you of being a bigot, basically. It's pretty bad. Pretty daggone bad. Yeah, this is basically what Riley Dennis is just wanting, is just, you know, people to not be able to freely express ideas that they happen to disagree with, okay? This is my entire problem with Riley in this video. This is my entire problem with her in general anyway. But, I mean, she just doesn't understand the fundamental value that is free speech. I don't understand what can cause someone to just think like that when it comes to free speech. Alright, free speech does not mean freedom of criticism. It means you have the right for the government not to arrest you for said speech. It does not protect you from people legitimately criticizing you for things they have qualms with. Alright, all the First Amendment does is allows speech, but does not allow for censored criticism. So anyway, let's go back.
Often just called the sidebar. So let me explain how this would work. Currently, if YouTuber B makes a response to YouTuber A, that sends traffic from B's video to A's video. YouTube sees this traffic and thinks, oh wow, these videos are related. If someone sees one of them, they'll want to see the other. So it starts recommending B's video next to A's video. And it doesn't matter if A blocks B, that will still happen. What I'm saying is that it shouldn't. YouTuber A should have control over all of their pages. That includes their channel page, but also all of their watch pages. Right now, YouTuber A has complete control over the video, the description, the comments, but...
I've actually had a couple I actually have more than a couple problems with this, because I've had times where, like, I will get videos recommended to me that don't make any damn sense at all. Like, I'll get recommended, like, stuff from the Oscars, even though I don't follow the Oscars at all. Alright, Steven Crowder also had a funny thing about this. He said that he doesn't watch anything about remotely good about Islam. Like, he's a Christian, so I mean, duh. But he's also very vehemently anti-Islam, at least the bad kind. And he says, oh, just, Muslim dating websites. And you also have, and then sometimes you'll just get that one really stupid video that's in your explore section about, like, maybe some stuff about, like, LGBT stuff and stuff like that, and then YouTube will force that on you. It doesn't really happen much on my phone because, I mean, my phone's super old and outdated, and I don't have that much storage space on it anyway. So, I mean, I don't really know how that works, but my phone just isn't really my phone isn't very friendly to updated YouTube, but, I mean, yeah, it's just, I mean, YouTube will put random shit on you all the time. Alright, I'm sorry, but that's how it works. Well, anyway, I might just stop it after this next point.
Not the suggested videos. Why not? YouTuber A's viewers have to see videos in the sidebar every time they watch one of their videos. It's a part of the user experience, and having the sidebar filled to the brim with hateful content, insulting and dehumanizing YouTuber A I get messages from people all the time asking me if I can do something about the videos in the sidebar because it's hurtful to them to constantly see that. I wish I could give...
Hurtful for them to not... to... No, that's not how that works. It's not hurtful to have videos in your sidebar that you don't want to see and that you have the option not to pick. That makes no fucking sense. That makes no goddamn sense whatsoever. None. Just no sense. What the hell are you saying? Are you saying that it's hurtful just to even remotely even get one glimpse of what someone says when they disagree with you? Is that what you're saying? Just one little glimpse is enough to trigger you to the point that you just want to change the entire YouTube algorithm? Is that what you're really saying? Is that what you're really saying, Riley? So you are... I mean, there's almost no saving you here. I mean, you're going to get like twice as jumped just for that comment alone. I mean, that just sounds really, really bad. And for good reason. And those who say that Riley's... And those who defend Riley over this need to get jack slapped, because this is freaking... This is pretty dumb. This is pretty daggum gum. Pretty daggum dumb. Pretty daggum dumb. Ah, fuck. Oh, anyway.
A better response. YouTube should give creators control over their own watch pages. If you block a YouTuber, their videos should not appear in the sidebar next to any of your videos.
But that doesn't work when that issue is directly about you. That's not how that works. Shouldn't be how that works. Alright, when they're making a video about you, it's gonna show up whether you like it or not. And you can't change any algorithm to say so, because it's got your name on it. It may not be you, but it's got your name on it. Like, seriously, to be quite honest with you, I just really don't want to jump up at Riley right now, so I'm just going to stop that there. and then I'm going to go get to the broader topic. Is censorship going to happen? I'm telling you, censorship is just getting closer and closer and closer to being real. Alright? Especially if you have the wrong political viewpoint. Alright, this is the entire problem, I think, with this entire point of it all is it's just people just keep jumping on to random things that people say, take them out of context, and then use that as a basis to basically just censor them. Alright, that's basically what Riley wants here, and it's really disgusting that is what she wants. Alright, I don't understand why you would come to this conclusion. If you remotely believe in free speech, that is not what you should be saying. But that's what she's saying. It's pretty daggone bad. I mean, I'm being very serious. I mean, it's pretty bad. And I really wish someone just go up to Riley and say, hey, what you're saying, that ain't exactly, the greatest thing to be saying. I mean, I'm just being frank here. I mean, Riley is very extreme. Alright, she is just, like, in terms of how extreme you can get, she is probably one of the most extreme people on the internet I've ever seen. She says some of the most hateful garbage of all time. And yet people still follow her like it's hot. Alright. And also on that whole stuff with the my god. Also on the whole, internet censorship thing. I mean, it's gonna get pretty bad one day when people just think of free speech as just a commodity. Alright, it's already bad that some people think that, but we're getting to the point where people are going to legitimately think that it is basically just okay to just go after each other like this on social media, take things out of context, and basically just screw up their livelihoods. And that's what Riley is wanting to do. Like, if they're just a legitimate channel, that's most of what these people are doing, just legitimate people trying to go after her for what they think is morally wrong. Pretty soon, I mean, that's already spread. Google's doing it, Yahoo's doing it, Twitter is doing it, Facebook's doing it. Facebook probably the most ardent douchebag of them all when it comes to that. It's just, one day it's just going to get to the point where it's not going to be able to be controlled anymore, where people are just going to come out wholesale, try to do away with the First Amendment, and once they do away with the First Amendment, if they actually do it, then the entire country's screwed. Because then we have no basis for liberty anymore. Once the First Amendment and the Second Amendment are done with, there's no basis for anything left. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, as per usual, like I say all the time. I hope you enjoyed it, because, I mean, that's just how I say it. Yeah, things are getting a little bit busier for me, so I may start half-assing a lot more things than I want to. I really don't like half-assing things. But, I mean, like I said, I got work, I got school, I got stuff to do at home. So, just a lot of stuff going on that I just keeps me up at night all the time. I'm trying to keep trying to keep, you know, friendships alive, and stuff like that. It's getting harder and harder to do because, I mean, how it happens. You get older. And it just gets to a point where you just can't do all the stuff that you love because you got other things you got to do. You got responsibilities that you have to uphold. Money you got to earn, essentially. And just, you know, you just gotta keep moving forward. And just try to do what you can to keep it going. That's honestly my entire view on it. So anyway, like I said, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And remember, don't go full Riley. Never go full Riley.